Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be starting a new series called Matchmaker Monday. Every Monday I'm going to be talking about fights I want to see, fights I think that make sense, and fights that I think could be booked. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 fights I want to see booked and that have a good chance of being booked. Let's get straight into it. So the first one at heavyweight, we have Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes is probably going to be the main event of UFC 304 in Manchester. But I have seen reports, I don't know how true they are, that Cyril Gane has been offered the fight, but he turned it down because of a fucking movie. That is the most Cyril Gane thing in the world. This dude needs to fight or fuck off out of the UFC because I'm sick of him. But this is the fight I want to see, and I think Tom Aspinall's not saying no to this fight if this is offered. Now, Gane has gone on record and said he accepted the Pavlovich fight, and I want to get something out of the way right away. A lot of people shit on Gane for turning down Aspinall at UFC Paris. You go back to that UFC London card back in 2022, the one where Tom fought Volkov. He did the exact same thing to Cyril Gane. And I love Tom Aspinall. I'd be rooting for him in this fight. But you have to call it spade a spade. He called out Tai Tuivasa while Cyril Gane was in the crowd and was saying, I'd love to fight Aspinall. So if you're going to give Gane shit for doing the same thing Aspinall did, you have to give Aspinall shit for that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it like that. But Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, what a fucking fight. I feel like this fight has been talked about for fucking years. Like, this has been the fight to make for fucking years, and it's never happened. Now, Gane is saying, I've never turned down any fight. Whether he has or not, he's definitely turned down a fucking fight. Let's be honest with you here. Aspinall, I don't think has ever turned down a fight. How would this fight go? Bro, this is a lot closer than people think. I think Gane is underrated as fuck. You know, he had a bad performance against John Jones, and real ones know he beating Gane in that fight. Real ones know. I think Gane has the better advantage on the feet. I think he's way lighter, way slicker, way more options. It's just the takedown. If Tom gets him down, that's a fucking rough night at the office for Cyril Gane, and make no mistake about it. I don't see him getting back up. But getting him down, I don't think it's as easy as people think. Like we saw in that Spivak fight, he's definitely making a lot of improvements to his game. Aspinall seems to be just getting better and better, but there's still questions about Aspinall. There's still questions. I think he is the best heavyweight in the world. I do. But there's still questions we have to be answered. How good is his cardio? Can he get into a war and survive? Can he dig deep in those late rounds? Does he have the gas tank to go past 3 rounds? We don't know. And you can sit there and say, yeah, he definitely has. He's never gone past, he's never done it. So we don't know. Like, what's he going to look like in the 4th or 5th? He could be completely gassed and then just lose. You don't know with these situations. It's all... But the thing is, it's not his fault. He's ending it quick enough to where it doesn't get that way, which is exactly what he should be doing. He shouldn't want to find out what happens in the 4th or 5th. No one should. But that's a question that still has to be answered. And will Cyril Gane be the one to get him there? I don't know. Like, it's very hard to see. Heavyweights never really go into the 4th or 5th. But Cyril Gane has that kind of style where he's going to dance around him. You know, and he will go far in fights, Gane. Now, he finished Spivak in an absolute masterclass in his last fight. We have to give him credit. But that doesn't justify a title shot, like he's saying. Like, he doesn't want to fight down. He only wants to fight up. You have to fight down, man. It's just part of the game. It's part of the game. One fight isn't going to win you enough. This isn't like Gaethje Chandler where we riot if you don't get a title shot. You know, you got to earn it. And Gaethje, in fairness, did it after he fought Fiziev, Poirier, Holloway. So he was doing that. But that's a fight I want to see. And that's a fight, you never know when it could happen. But that's a fight that probably will happen one day. When that day is, who the fuck knows? Will it be in the UFC Manchester card? Probably not. I would imagine they're going to do Blaydes too. That fight is kind of unfinished business, you know. Not back to the scene of the crime. It was in London, but you know, back to where it all began in England. And then the winner, you know, they could easily make that fight for the vacant belt and then fucking let Jones and Stipe fight on their own. No one cares about Jones and Stipe, bro. If fucking Jones retired in the morning, I wouldn't give a fuck. That's how little interest I have in John Jones and fucking Stipe. Just like everyone else. Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane is the fight I want to see. It will happen one day, but who the fuck knows when that's going to happen. Next up, we have a featherweight clash between Brian Ortega and Aljamain Sterling. Bringing the funk, Aljamain Sterling, possibly the greatest bantamweight of all time, put on a very kind of... It was a good performance, but also a very bad performance as regards entertainment against Calvin Kattar. But we know what Sterling's like. He stinks up the arena every fucking time. He tried to have like an entertaining fight against O'Malley. That's just not his style, and he needs to get away from that. If you want to win fights, do what you did against Calvin Kattar. Now, I kind of felt like Kattar was fucking flat-footed and shit, but that's what happens when you're out for nearly a year and a half with a nasty fucking ACL tear or whatever he was out with. But Aljamain Sterling versus Brian Ortega is a great fight. Ortega looked a bit shit against Yair. I don't know how he won. Like, Ortega hasn't looked great in fucking ages since the Korean Zombie. I think Sterling would win this fight. I do think they will actually book this fight next. It makes the most sense in my opinion. I don't think he should give him Yair. I think he should give him Ortega. He deserves it. And then maybe this is a number one contender fight at featherweight. You know, why not? I think if you beat Yair and Sterling, we'll see how the division ranks up, because you have Arnold, Giga as well. So maybe the winner fights the winner of that. You know, but this is a good fight. This is a big fight in the division as well. I do think Ortega will have... It's a good style for both of them, because Ortega has that submission threat. I feel like he's like the light featherweight Oliveira as regards the aura of going into Ortega's ground game was kind of gone when he fought Yair. You know what I mean? But he's still fucking mad dangerous on the ground. Like, it's insane. He'll wrap you up like a snake. And I think Sterling, he's very good. And Sterling looked fucking beefy against Kattar. So I think Sterling would be able to control him down. I don't think Sterling has the advantage on the feet, but I also don't think Ortega has too much of a threat on the... Obviously, he's got decent boxing and all, but I still don't think it's enough to where Sterling's going to get caught like he did against O'Malley. O'Malley's an unbelievable striker, but this is a fight I want to see, because it leads to a number one contender fight at featherweight, which is exactly what the divisions need. We need fights that lead to contender fights. Because it feels like divisions are just clogged at the moment. Everyone wants to fucking move up. Every champion wants to move up until you get the heavyweight, and he doesn't want to fight any contenders. So we need fights where they're like, no, you can't fucking move up. You have to fight him, and then you're gonna fight him and him and him, and then you can move up. You need to clean out divisions. I don't think you should be allowed to move up unless you have 4 title defenses or 3, and there's no one else left. Exactly what Volk did. But I do think they will make this fight. Ortega's got that submission threat, but Sterling's also got that wrestling game where I do think he'd be able to control Ortega on the ground. He had great success against Kattar, and Kattar was one of the most solid wrestling defenses in featherweight division. I think he had the highest takedown defense in featherweight before the Aljo fight. I think, I could be wrong there, but it was insanely high. I'm pretty sure it was 92%. This dude doesn't get taken down, and you sure as fuck don't control him unless you're Aljamain Sterling. I do think Sterling will be a bit of an issue in that division, but then again, someone who's very well rounded, that is great on the feet and has class, like Kattar, but just better, that won't get taken down. Sterling's going to struggle. I feel like Ortega's a good matchup for him, but he also has to be careful, because Ortega could wrap him up like that, and you just never know with Sterling. Next up, one in the lightweight division, we have Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, one of the biggest names in the sport, versus someone I believe will go down as the greatest lightweight of all time, the king of the lightweights at the moment. I think we can all agree on that. Money Moicano, brother. Renato Moicano versus Paddy Pimblett on the UFC Manchester card. I want to see that fight, and I want to see it fucking badly. This fight has been kind of like, they've been going at it a good bit on Twitter and all. So Pimblett is kind of seen as like one of the biggest names in the sport. Like, I remember this time 2 years ago, Pimblett did that amazing post-fight speech where he just took everyone by storm, and everyone just seemed to grasp at him, loved him, the haircut, the accent, lad, you know, Shane, everything about him was just, it was money. Everyone wanted a piece of the cake. But then things kind of took a turn for the worst. Fans turned on him a little bit, I felt, in the Jared Gordon fight. He could have handled it a bit better, but still, this is a great fight. I think this fight is kind of Pimblett's best gateway into the top 10. Moicano is so hit and miss, man. He's so fucking hit and miss. He had a good performance against Jalen Turner. Nearly got knocked out, though. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even call it a good performance, actually. It was pretty poor. Turner could have easily finished that fight if he had any brain cells, but Turner has no brain cells, but still. Moicano has been so hit and miss in his career. He picks up some good wins, then he gets fucking shinned like he did against Fiziev. You know, but then he beat Drew Dober. He's after coming off a good win against Turner, like I said, even though it wasn't a good win, but we'll call it a good win because it was finished against Turner, but Moicano's dangerous. I think Moicano's got one of the best submission threats in this in the division, to be quite honest with you. I think he can wrap you up fairly well. He's got okay striking. Striking's pretty poor, but Moicano is fucking golden on the mic. You know, when he was beefing with the fucking MMA guru, and then he did a massive interview on his channel, like, that's what I really was like, okay, like, Moicano is like, he could be a big name in this division. And of course Pimlet is already a big name. Why not join them together and make a fucking massive fight? They're both gonna talk, they're both gonna sell, they're both gonna bring in eyeballs. MMA Guru will be in fucking Moicano's corner. That fat pig. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's a fight I want to see badly. Stylistically, I think Pimlet has a decent chance. I think I don't really rate Pimlet that highly, but I don't think he's as shit as everyone says. I think he could have a, you know, he looked a lot better in the Tony Ferguson fight. A lot of people give him shit in the Gordon fight, but you have to remember he did break his foot. Now, I do think Pimlet is getting better, but it is kind of slowly. I did think he looked okay against Tony Ferguson, but then again, it is Tony Ferguson, so you can't really take too much from it. But I think he might have a decent chance with his kicks and his knees against Moicano, but I don't think he'll submit him. I don't think Moicano will submit him either. I think this could be like a, you know, Moicano decision. If I was to give an early prediction, I'd have to give a more detailed one. On top of my head, I give him Moicano decision. Moicano probably do work on the feet, and he probably hold him down, do a little bit of ground and pound, and kind of do some damage on top and stuff like that. But then again, Pimlet might start the round fast with his kicks and his knees and fucking shit striking. But yeah, if I had to give an early prediction for that one, I'd go with Moicano by decision. But that's it for Matchmaker Monday for today. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Thank you for watching.